Alright fam, today we are getting started with Unlock Protocol, and if you don't know what that means, well, it's going to be the future of memberships and subscriptions. I believe it's very powerful, and it's been under development, I believe, for the last couple of years at least, but it's only really launched recently, maybe in the last year or so. And their WordPress plugin came out, so what I'm going to do today, it came out maybe like a month or two ago. Today I'm going to install that plugin into Bonsai and integrate it. Now, if you're familiar with doing WordPress plugins, this process is probably going to be entirely different than how you've done that before. We're going to be using a tool called Composer, which is a dependency manager for PHP. And what does that mean? It's kind of a fancy way of saying that your plugins aren't going to break shit on your WordPress site, because that is probably one of people's biggest complaints about WordPress, is that it's usually run off a bunch of bloated plugins and they're all running different versions and updating constantly, and then they start conflicting, and that can really mess with things. So what Composer does is it composes all of these plugins, and there's also like Moo plugins that it controls, which will be required in your site, and then there's actual different versions of WordPress that it's installing as well. So, let's just get started and jump in with that. I'm gonna be winging it today. I didn't really prepare as much as I usually would, because I wanted to see what somebody's process would be like just jumping into this from scratch. I will admit that I have done this plugin before. I messed with it for just a couple seconds, really, and so I'm pretty fresh on it. I played with it, I will admit. And what I'm doing right now is just launching up the virtual machine right here, so we can run this site locally. It can take a minute sometime. So let's pull up some documentation, and I'll pull up Composer. No, you don't need to look at Composer's website, but I will go to GitHub, which is one of the first things I do after the virtual machine's been launched. I'm going to open up Atom with Command-Shift-A. I come into the docs. Plugins and integrations. Now, I'm going to be using the WordPress plugin first, because it should operate the exact same way as Unlock does when it's not a plugin, when it's like hard-coded into a project. And down the road, if there's any issues with it, I might end up hard-coding it, but this is definitely going to be the fastest and easiest way to get rolling with it. Okay, so the typical process for installing a plugin is outlined right here, and we're going to be using a different process that I will show how to do. So I would start by coming into, here's my project right here, Site, Composer, Now this is a JSON file that controls all of the dependencies and plugins. Now this is the bulk of it right here. So it's installing PHP, Composer installers, php.environment, Osco Rotero. I don't even know what some of this stuff is, to be honest. Wordpress. This is Roots WordPress, so I believe it's slightly reconfigured. Roots WP config, password decrypt, soil, gravity forms, members, Peter's login redirect, unlock protocol, gravity forms, advanced custom fields pro. These are all the plugins I'm currently using. Ideally, I definitely need to get rid of Peter's login redirect. That's just a hack for now, because I didn't want to have to write some PHP. So that's kind of the process of using plugins. You use them when you have to, when it's fastest to do that, when it's most convenient, and then you start hard coding in the ones that are not really being utilized or pretty easy to replicate through coding yourself directly into the project. So unlock protocols already in here. Now a lot of this rubbish up here, I've messed with a lot of different ways to do gravity forms, and I'm still constantly evolving this process. But this is how you call to their servers, gravity form servers. Because it's a paid plugin, so it's not really accessible from WP Packagist, which is what I usually use. They do have their Gravity Forms CLI plugin here, which is open source and free. I used to have another method where I would do all of Gravity Forms plugins from my scripts in the command line. But I don't know that that's the best way to handle things. I'm still evolving this process, like I said. So yeah, ignore all this stuff for now, unless you want to learn how that's done. See, here's advanced custom fields as well. Now, luckily, Unlock Protocol is free and open source, so it is on WP Packagist. And what you would do here, wow, new mistake. No, I thought I was covering my screen. Okay, we're good. So what you typically do here is go to, where's the link to the plugin? There should be a WordPress link somewhere. Adding a new blog, no. All right, let's just Google it real quick. So what I'd do is come to this WordPress hosted page for Unlock Protocol. Then I would grab this little string right here, unlock-protocol. Sometimes that can be different, so I come here to reference it. But then you go to wpackagist, you search that. And here you see version 3 unlock-protocol. And then you come into here and you know it's going to be wpackages plugin unlock-protocol, and then you can call this version. These little signs right here, that means it's going to automatically upgrade to the newest version when I run Composer update. And if I remove this, then it will always stay at that version until I change it. which can, with some plugins, I don't know, if you don't trust it, then you don't want to update it automatically, that's for sure. But I don't know why you'd want a plugin that you don't trust, so I do update most of them automatically. So that's Composer. Let me show you how to run it. We're gonna come into, not even up yet. So this is my scripts directory right here, and that's just where I build different scripts that I can run. I'm gonna back out of it and just come out to site. And from here, I'm gonna run Composer update. And I believe I will run into some, no. See, it's cached most of these versions. We'll see if we have any issues, because these Gravity Form plugins, we're not updating them automatically right now, because the way that I'm doing it, these links change over time, especially when they do updates. So I need to figure out a process for either hosting my own plugins, but that's just too much to manage, really. So I might just go back to doing things in these scripts where I just install all of the plugins through WordPress command line interface. I don't know, that's not the way you're supposed to do things with Composer, but it worked for me pretty well for about a year, honestly. All right, upgrading security advisories, and that's good. So if you had just added this line to a Composer project, then you just save it, run Composer update, and it would say that it had just installed Unlock Protocol. Now we can verify that by coming into we don't need to launch this yet. I'm gonna come into bonsai.test. I'm gonna log in. Probably watch this video. I can't remember if I have already. So that was just skipping this whole area right here where you let me show you. Hold, please. Okay, I need to update WordPress, so that'll be a good thing to show. I'm going to show you why you can't do things the traditional way with Bonsai or Roots. So if you come into your plugins here, this is how most people would do it. They'd click Add New. You type in Unlock Protocol. And you would install it from right here. Now, you can do this on the local environment in, that ain't right. So you can do that from the local environment, but if you log into a staging server or the production server, I don't believe you don't even have that option. So when you're developing locally, you can just have a little playground to do things that way, but they went ahead and just disabled that. It's just a lot more tech savvy to do things with Composer. You will definitely have less things breaking. I can say that because I used to do things the old way. All right. So unlock protocol is not activated at the moment. I come in here and activate it. You could also, if you were working within WordPress command line interface, you could type this. WP development specifies the environment. Plugin activate. I think there's a flag for all as well, but we'd say unlock. I don't know if it has a dash in between it. There you go. Now let's come into settings. I'm just trying to see this with fresh eyes. All right, so we have general settings, login button text, login with NFT token, enable image background for login button background color, checkout button text, background image and colors. Then we have networks, network name, network ID, network RPC endpoint. All right, so I'm pretty new to a lot of this. I'm pretty sure I know what the mainnet is. I've heard of RinkBuy. I've heard of XDAI. So I believe these would be different networks that you could choose to use. This would be like the protocol or the layer, I believe. I'm kind of talking out of my ass with this because I'm fairly new to all this stuff. To Web3. Before I start figuring out what all this does, I just remembered we were gonna show you how to update WordPress. So it says 5.8.3 is available. We're gonna come back into Composer. Change this to 0.3, click save. I'm backing out again to site and running Composer update. And this will install the new version of WordPress. Alrighty, that'll do it. I'll just refresh right here. And it'll say 5.8.3 right down here in the bottom right corner. Okay, so this first page seems very simple. It's just basically designing how the interaction looks with like background images or whatever. This part's definitely going to be the more technical part. And then, because I have looked over this page, I know that it gets even more technical than that, because then it has some actions and some filters. I think this has even been updated since I last looked at it, maybe. Seems like there's more hooks in there. And basically, I'm gonna definitely try working with these hooks. If you're not familiar with hooks, it's your way to interact with WordPress as it loads, basically. So like when this action happens, you can tie anything to that action. So when somebody clicks submit, there's one little action that you could tie something to. Or when it processes, when it's done processing, when it's completely finalized. There's so many different things that you can tie into. And then you take a bit of PHP, or Blade in this case, most likely, and you tell it to do something in there. So the one thing that I don't like about how the plugin works necessarily at the moment is that if I come to Bonsai, so for example, we have docs right here, and these are pretty much all the posts that I have published that are about documentation. Now you can see these excerpts right here of the article, and here, that one's pretty. So they would have, it'll put a button right here basically that will build a design, and it will say login with NFT or purchase with NFT token. We can customize that as well. But I would almost like it if I could do whole areas, and I'm not exactly sure, because this is all done per post, so I could probably figure out a way to put it in the excerpt. I'm not sure if the plugin will do that standard, so we might have to figure that out. And then it's all done within the Gutenberg block editor, which is actually a really nice editor. So we give people the option to use the block editor. Like, they'll be set. I could teach my grandma how to use the block editor. And I guess one thing I need to know how to do is tying, I'm going to do some advanced custom fields within certain posts. And yeah, because certain areas, I like them to be able to be edited from the front end, and I use advanced custom fields for that. So that part might become a little bit more difficult, but for now, it's basically just gonna give us a button right there, and then that will unlock on a per post basis. So let's just start playing around with it. There's no point in me speculating on what my issues will be when we'll hit them either way. So we can forget about all the design stuff for now. I would assume that you know how to design a button or add a background image. We'll just keep it at default. And then these are the different Ethereum networks. Okay, I didn't really know what RinkBuy is, but it's an Ethereum network, and so is XDAI. I would maybe lean towards Polygon They're just the most familiar to me at the moment, which is pretty much, I've never used them really, but I've never developed with it, that's for sure. You can add more networks by providing name ID and RPC endpoint. The name and the ID are arbitrary, however, the ID has to be unique. Okay. Interesting. Network name, network ID, RPC endpoint. Okay, so these are the networks that are already set up, and then this is just a way to add more. So these IDs have to be unique, and the network name, I believe, is arbitrary. Seems that all that really matters is this endpoint right here. I don't think we really need to unlock or add any more at this time. So we can just ignore those fields up top. Gutenberg editor. Okay, configuring an unlock block. The unlock protocol block can be added like any other Gutenberg block to any poster page. See Wordpress documentation. Okay, it's just called unlock protocol block, I would assume. And then select the Ethereum network. So you must do this on the actual post. So I'm gonna come into, I'm just going to grab an existing post. Alright, security is one that I will probably charge for, because I've hired consultants to consult me on the security with Bonsai. Gotta cover my cost back so I can invest more into security, you know? I'd really like to figure out how to integrate it with members. This is a cool plugin. And this is the old editor. I don't know if that's because I added these through the command line maybe, but we're going to convert these to blocks. And go to preview. Did it not convert to blocks? Oh, there's not really much here. Why does this preview look so bad? Okay, I'm just gonna come in above it and add a unlock protocol. Please configure the lock. Block can be added to locked. Ethereum network. Let's just use Polygon for now. We might mess with that lock address. Must deploy a lock using the unlock dashboard. We need to come into the unlock dashboard and hitting this weird bug again? I'm gonna clear the cache. No. Okay. Wallet connect. In browser wallet connect. Scan QR code with wallet connect compatible wallet. What? Ledger. Okay, here we are. I want the Trezor. Is that possible? Ledger. Isn't that the hardware wallet? Yeah. Infinity wallet, wallet 3. I was planning to use my Trezor. Let me see if that's possible. Let's see. Let's check out Wallet Connect. Let's see what that is. Yeah, Wallet Connect Trezor integration. I'm assuming this is the wallet connected. So this would be the most confusing part about using this plugin, really, is getting set up with your wallet and logging into the unlock dashboard. I think from there it's pretty simple. But this is really the biggest hurdle in Web3 is these wallets, and you know, for purpose of making this easier on myself, we might do an in-browser wallet. I would do a Coinbase wallet, but I think I need to have my ID for that, and I lost my state ID. I only have my passport. They won't take a passport. Huh. Am I hitting a bug again? Connect compatible wallet. Could I do that from my Trezor dashboard? Can you scan a QR code? Trezor wallet shows receiving wallet address as QR codes, so they can easily be scanned. No, I don't think so. Please check your wallet and try again. Yeah, this has been the biggest bug that I've been hitting so far with Unlock Protocol, is just the way that this connects to your wallets. I believe I might have to clear my cache. Let's see if that works. I believe I'm clearing my cache. Command Shift R. Yeah, but for some reason it selects the last selection that I'd had. I don't really want it to. Okay, that works. Like I said, I've never developed in Web3 before, but I have a feeling why this is kind of buggy is I believe these are like iframes from the wallets themselves that are being embedded maybe. But that doesn't explain why I can't do anything right now. Unlock account. Connect a wallet. Why not just use unlock account? I mean, I do have an unlock account, don't I? Okay, you can export your account. Now that's interesting. I've never heard of anything like that, really. Yes, I want to export and delete my account. So where would you import it to? Like another wallet, or is that a way to like transfer your assets, basically? Alright, that's interesting. Alright, where do we get to the dashboard again? Here we go. To any unlock supported networks such as XDAI or Polygon. Okay, cool. I believe Polygon is a layer 2 above Ethereum, which means that the gas prices will be lower. Purchase some ETH using Coinbase. I have some ETH. Huh. Okay. We want to use Polygon. Transfer some Matic to Polygon chain using the bridge. Oh man, this is so foreign to me. To deploy on the Polygon. We'll see if it'll let me do anything. I believe I have to have some ETH in the account. Matic is the coin of Polygon, right? So this would be, okay, cancel lock. If I come into Ethereum and did this, it would say ETH, cancel lock. What is this built in? Netlify, React. A little bit of Node, Webpack, Netlify, and React. That's cool. All right, so I'm trying to remember. RinkBuy uses ETH. I think the advantage of using that is that when people are purchasing their NFTs, they're seeing ETH and they're a lot more familiar with ETH. I believe if you're using like a second layer, then XDAI and Polygon. The thing is, I'm familiar with Polygon, but I didn't even remember that their coin was called Matic. Local host. What? Huh. I don't even know how you could do that. I wonder if that's for development or if you can actually host your own. Oh, I see. Yeah. You could probably host your own coin, which would be pretty useful. Oh, here we go again. Come on. Okay. Account settings, unlock account. All right, I bet XDAI is just as easy as Polygon, but I already set that up as Polygon, so that's what I will use. New lock. Test. I'm just gonna say lock test. No, I don't want that name. I'm assuming I'll have to make a bunch of these to fully test it out. Key duration 30 days. Key quantity 100. Oh, so that would limit the amount of keys. Okay, let's say 100. 0.01. Submit. And let me guess, this is not gonna work. Because I need to have Matic. Okay. Well. Here's my feedback so far on this whole process. So we've got this part working. I need to give a lock address right here. And the rest of it's done from the unlock dashboard, which I would really like to play around with. But as me, who's pretty dumb with all this stuff, I'll be honest, there's gonna be a lot of people that are even dumber than I am about it. And I think in order to get mass adoption with Unlock Protocol, there needs to be some sort of way to maybe have a playground where you don't have to transfer Ethereum into this. If I'm doing it here, like, I don't even know how much it is, but I have to just open up so many different wallets to get Matic in here. Transfer some Matic to the Polygon chain using the bridge. And how does it know that I transferred that Matic to the bridge? Or to Polygon? Maybe that's just asking for too much. Maybe that's not possible with things right now. But that's one thing that I would maybe recommend, is having some type of playground. Maybe that's what localhost is, and I'm not familiar with it. But basically, from what I've seen, I would submit this, and then it would give me a lock address, which I would put in here. and then everything would pretty much be working automatically. Now I'm trying to remember, I think you put the locked content inside the block, which would be interesting because you could have a post with multiple separate products on it, like separate memberships even. It's not just like one per post. Let me just verify that. I've watched through some of this documentation, but then I kind of just stopped because I'm like, I know this is going to be something that I spend a lot of time with, so I was kind of savoring jumping into this. But it seems like I've forgotten the fact that I needed to have this all set up. I don't think I even understood that the gas prices were going to require me to do that. And I'm kind of unsure about how to go about that step. It's a little intimidating. Okay, I see. Polygon has this same, almost looks exactly the same. Let's unlock. I'll probably start a MetaMask account. And that's just what's crazy about this onboarding process is I have to create like a MetaMask account. No, I guess I'd only have to create one. So maybe that's the way to do it. Instead of using an unlock account, just use a MetaMask account. I would like to use Wallet Connect, but I don't think I can do that with Trezor. Coinbase is actually pretty easy if I could be logged into my Coinbase account right now, but I've got to go to the DMV and sit in line for hours, probably, just to get that. Download here. What? MetaMask download. What am I downloading? Install MetaMask in your browser. Yeah. I think I should do this. All right. I'm not sure how long I'm going to go on this. We've gotten pretty far with it. I mean, not that it was hard to get this far. Ooh, where did you go? Come here. And I'm not sure if I'm getting close. I don't want to go too late tonight, but I did just want to give this whole unlock protocol integration like fresh eyes and just see what I'm almost doing user testing on it right now, seeing what the points of friction are going to be. And it seems like the point of friction is really the wallet part's not that hard. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to set this up while I'm on stream, but I think it's the gas prices part that it's going to be the hardest. So basically you have to buy gas prices of Ethereum. You have to buy some Ethereum to use the gas to create the NFT. And I'm not quite sure how expensive that's going to be. I'm assuming it's going to be like insignificantly cheap, maybe like less than $1 even. But just, I wonder how you could shorten that process. I will think about this. And I will set up a MetaMask account. Meanwhile, I don't think I want to do this on the stream because right here you set up a secret recovery phrase, and that's a sequence of, I think it's like 24 words. It's a bunch of words. And it's just like fridge, magnet, or lamp, random words in a sequence. And that's like, your top secret recovery phase. If you ever needed to get back into your wallet, if you lost your password or security was compromised or something. So we'll set that up. I already have one, so I'm going to keep that the same as my Trezor. It looks like you can use those between accounts. You would probably start here if it was a brand new, if you've never set up a wallet before. And I bet the process isn't too hard. I don't know if I'll stream it because I'm sure there's so many tutorials on it, how to set up a MetaMask account. Well, go here, set up your secret recovery phrase, and I'm assuming you can, can you buy from MetaMask with USD? I don't know. You might have to go to Coinbase to buy like Ethereum and then send it somewhere. There's so many different ways that it can go. So I'll set up my MetaMask account offline, and then next stream I'll cover how to easily purchase that, get it in the account. I'm going to try and figure out the fastest way possible so that it's like, if Coinbase is the best way, then just use that. It's like one step instead of 2 or 3. So we'll find the shortest process to doing that, and I will update that. From there on, it's going to be pretty easy. I believe you're just going to come in here and click submit, and it will generate a lock address for you. You tie that into the product, which is within the block right here in WordPress, and voila. Then people can purchase that with an NFT, and it expires in 30 days, and there's only 100 available, and all this cool stuff. So with that, my babies, I'm out, and I will try to get another stream up at least by next week. I believe I have a guest staying in here next week, actually. So it could be a little bit longer. I might have to stream from a different location. I just noticed my camera seems frozen. Weird. All right. Peace.